GM. GM.
Good morrow.
Good morrow. Oh, I've got my headset on backwards. 1 second. Actually, I didn't have my headset on backwards.
Okay.
I normally have it on backwards.
Get a hold of yourself.
I know. It's all falling apart, man. I don't know what's going on. What's going on with you?
I don't know. It's doing the blank screen thing. Don't do anything, though. It does that now and again. It'll pop up any minute.
How long does it last for? I don't get it. Weird.
It doesn't. It's pointless. It's restream.
No idea. GM, dude, how you feeling?
Great.
Yeah, doing good. Doing well.
FOMC day.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So Mark,
did you see any of the reports yesterday?
No surprises. So nothing crazy to report. Minutes were as expected, and
were they dovish or what's the other one? Dovish or
hawkish?
Hawkish, yes.
No, they were exactly what everyone expected. There's the same temperament as it has been, which is slightly hawkish and slightly concerned with what's going on.
Right. Gotcha. Interesting. Well, what time does the announcement come out at? It seems like it's probably already priced in, eh?
2 p.m. Eastern. Yes, I would say it's priced in right now.
Nice. Yeah, the S&P. It's having an all right morning. I think the last time I checked on it. I guess the bell just went, which kind of can change things pretty quickly, but
yeah, it's gonna be a little while, the first 10 minutes, then it'll settle, and then it'll stay at that price until 2 p.m.
We will figure it out. GM Bomber. Oh man, how was your Tuesday? What was the deal? What was going on?
Nothing much. I am still waiting for the Phantom drop, which is today at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, very late one. 8 p.m. Pacific. It's all right, though.
It must be an Asian team, because that's morning time in Asia.
Yep.
That would be my guess.
That makes sense for sure. The Europeans are always the ones that are left shaking their fists. Their time zone does not match up with anybody's.
Well, I mean, they're communists. They work
Good
like
morning, Europe.
Yeah, I mean, Europe works like 20 hours a week.
This is true. Are they on the 30-hour work week yet? Are you going for PXN Public?
Yes.
The old risk-free Dutch
Why not?
option.
It seems popular.
All the cool kids are talking about it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's sometimes all you need, right?
Yep.
That's what it is.
No, it'll completely sell out at 2E, and then it's either falling to 1 or 5 on the secondary. We don't know if there's any demand. It looks like an anime project. I thought it was something cool and innovative.
It looks like there's like a tool suite, and it looked like they're building some form of community. Kaiju's partnered with them.
Yes, that's another reason I'm bullish. I don't have to know more than that. Dots likes it, I'm in.
Dots likes it, you're in? Yeah, for sure. What do they got going on? They got a scientist drop coming up. Is that soon-ish?
It's soonish, yes. It is May, the month of play. It will happen this month.
It is, okay. Yeah, cool. I saw they got a cool trait in there with some goggles.
Jazz. The Star Wolves are partnering with the scientists. So.
Yep. Should be good. All right. Let's kick this off. I got some stuff to do this afternoon, so we can just hit it and then hit it and I guess quit it. Not really. I don't know. Let's just get through it. You want to do the drum roll?
Okay.
Oh, that was an enthusiastic one. GM, G-Gens, and welcome to the turn the music off May 4th, Wednesday edition of the AlphaMint Morning Show. It is episode 120. Good morning to all of you. I am your host, R2DGen, and I am joined with me, as always, by Free Market Capitalist.
Hey now.
Hey, now it is hump day. The week has been interesting. I mean, we've obviously had a lot of other side talk going on, but it seems like that is starting to cool down. I actually didn't even do my obligatory other side price check this morning, but we'll check in on that and see how it's going.
Thing now?
No, me personally, not like on the show.
Oh, you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I the hot drops. I like to kind of see where they're at and whatnot.
Oh, I couldn't care less. I wait for people to tell me.
There you go. Well,
No,
I'm
it's
normally
like
the one that
3.5.
tells you, and this is the problem.
3.5 ETH.
I don't know. We could check. But yeah, right now, crypto had a little bit of a bounce back last night, but it has been really fighting with that 2,800 mark. I think it dropped a little bit below it. Well, let's just pull that up now while we're talking about it. Bitcoin sitting at just under 39,000 as it's kind of trying to break back up towards 40,000. ETH is sitting at 2860 right now. They're up both about 1% on the 24-hour chart. So the last time we talked about it, but again, the last 24 hours has been a bit of a rocky road for Ethereum. The S&P market on the opening bell is up about 0.2%, and we have the big the FOMC announcement today, which is obviously we kind of know what's going to be said. I think. Do you want to start digging into that a little bit?
Markets are flat and unchanged, waiting for the Fed at 2 p.m. They have responded slightly favorably to yesterday's minutes, not because they were dovish, but because they were expected. And that is what we've been talking about the whole time. I think assets feel ready to rally here almost no matter what happens, unless it's a surprise. 4,200, 4,250 is the level to watch on the S&P. If we can get above that, I think it starts a pretty big multi-week rally. If the minutes are not something that is liked by the markets, we are going to be testing those lows, and we will have to reassess.
And is this like you said? It's happening at 2 p.m. They'll make the announcement of what the interest rate increase is. Is everyone in a holding pattern until that gets dropped, and then if it's as expected, it's kind of you think off to the races?
First, it will be dropped, then the market will go up 1%, then it will go down 2%, then it will go back to even, and then we will see what will happen. There is always the first move, which is wrong, the second move, which also tries to trick everyone into thinking the first move is wrong, try this move, and then it kills everybody on that. It's going to be very volatile today. So always happens at FOMC meetings, and we will see where we come out the other end. My guess is bullish. Let's see.
And you think crypto follows suit with that? Or have we got to the point where we're ready to decouple?
It's trying, which is interesting to me. I would actually say that's pretty bullish. And it was actually trying to decouple to the downside, but it would just be bullish in general if crypto decoupled from macro. Because like I said, there's a lot of industry-specific bullish news in relation to crypto, which I know some people disagree with, but everyone's very jaded. It's been a rough bear market.
What kind of news are you looking at that's bullish?
The ETH merge specifically, which is there are macro forces that are keeping ETH undervalued relative to what's about to happen this year. So I mean, ETH is worth $10,000. It's sitting at 2,800 right now, and there's a reason for that.
For sure, yeah. And there was an article yesterday. I didn't pull it up, but it did say that they've put the brakes on a couple of other things to go full steam ahead to try and hit their Q3. It was Q2 originally, but Q3 target of I guess ETH 2.0, the merge as they're calling it. And I do think that is going to be a huge watershed moment for Ethereum, provided it comes online and works as expected. But again, we've talked about this many times. Like, this has not been a couple of months in the making. This has been 5-6 years in the making. Back when I first bought Ethereum, that was on the table then, and that was 2017, and it is on the table now. So they've clearly been trying to make sure that everything goes right. There's way too much on the line to drop that ball. And it's one of those things. It's when it's ready, and it will be a very big moment for ETH. So I agree with you, fully bullish on that and what's to come. Moving into the news cycle a little bit, our favorite, supervillain, or Reddit's favorite supervillain, Citadel CEO Ken Griffin didn't want to help fund the North Koreans by entering crypto. The Wall Street Titan used to refer to crypto as a jihadist call against the U.S. dollar. His tone has changed, but he's still reticent. Reticent? Oh God, I don't know, man. My reading ability is waning apparently.
Okay. I said it's okay. I got you.
Thank you. I mean, I don't have the cachet to pull that off, I guess. But yeah, Ken Griffin, anti-crypto, and he continues to pull every excuse out of the book, basically saying that he doesn't want to accidentally buy some North Koreans crypto and help fund their their military or their chemical weapons programs or anything like that. So Ken Griffin, a moralist investor, I suppose.
Yeah, and this is another one of the old guards here, in which crypto can be divisive to the way they think. So nothing too crazy. I respect the guy, but he has his opinions.
Yeah, for sure. Hawaii becomes latest state to approve task force to examine Bitcoin Web3 technology. A growing list of U.S. states is looking to use blockchain-based tech in both public and private sectors. Hawaii would be a great place to cozy up to crypto, as if you've ever been there before, it is absolutely lovely. And if it was anywhere on the level of like Miami or what New York's trying to become, I mean, sign me up. But have you ever been to Hawaii? Is this something that excites you at all?
No, I mean, I've never been to Hawaii, and I guess it's exciting. I mean, it's part of the United States. I don't know how exciting it could be.
Yeah, I don't know. It is just the weather is beautiful, the climate is beautiful, the city is beautiful.
They have some of the best loam in the world as well. If you were going to grow cannabis outdoors, there are a few other places on Earth I would recommend than the lava-rich soil in Hawaii.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, no, I went once when I was younger, and it was an incredible time, and I would totally do that again.
Did you get laid when you got
What's
off?
that?
Did you get laid?
Yes, I did get laid. Yeah, for sure. But for those of you who don't know, they put the flower necklace over you when you land. But yeah. Always exciting. I think that we're starting to see a longer list of states start to do this as they start to compete with one another as well for crypto adoption and getting people to join their population.
How many lays do you think they go through a day? Like, you know how many people fly into Hawaii on a day?
It's a lot. Yeah.
Like, that must be a whole cottage industry.
Well, okay, so the ones that they give you, I mean, they're not like extremely nice ones. They're like you could get them at a dollar store or something, right? Like they're just cheap plastic ones. You could buy like real ones, but if I recall correctly, it's probably not a giant expense and they are mass produced. But yeah, well, if this goes down, we'll do a meetup in Hawaii. That would be good. Kind of biggest ish news coming out today came from Twitter, where Elon Musk, everyone's I guess favorite Twitter owner, now has changed his name or changed his profile picture to a plethora of Bored Apes, spurring some discussion about what Elon's doing, and then tweeted out, I don't know, seems kind of fungible. ApeCoin has rallied since then. It's up 3%. It did go up to about almost $18 there very briefly as he did it. And as we know, every time Elon tweets about Sheeb, tweets about Doge, even when he did the Bitcoin announcement with Tesla, he moves markets. This is an interesting move for Elon. Whether or not it's throwing shade at NFTs or not, it doesn't matter. It is still up there in his profile picture, and Elon always commands a lot of eyes. What was your initial reaction seeing Elon throwing the PFPs up?
Looks good on him. I wonder if he was the anonymous buyer at Sotheby's.
Well, and that's it. I don't know how much speculation's actually behind that, but this picture is actually one of the promo pictures for the lots that were sold of the Bored Apes at Sotheby's back in September. This lot of 101 apes was sold for $26 million back in September. And this is the image that he has chosen to put as his profile picture. Would be curious to see if that was actually Elon. I don't know. I doubt it. I think he's just gone into troll mode. But it has caused a lot of reaction. Anything Elon does seems to, and almost immediately there was a clip up on CNBC of them interviewing Gary Vaynerchuk about the move, and I'm gonna play it here for you. Just a quick 2-minute clip. His next Melt saying his next PFP would be a lemon. That would be something else. Let me. What's that?
I laughed.
Let me pull up the tab here. That should be it.
NFTs have been dropping in value. Just this morning, Elon Musk has changed his Twitter profile picture to a montage of Bored Apes NFT images. And then he tweeted...
Seems kind of fungible.
I don't know. Seems kind of fungible to me.
NFT, fungible?
Yeah.
Or not.
Joining us now is a big believer in NFTs, Gary Vaynerchuk, founder and creator of VeeFriends. What do you read it? That to me looks like he's saying, yeah, you may own one of these apes, but they're out there and I can easily just put it up on my profile picture. So why pay for something like that? Is that what he's saying, Gary? How do you view what Elon Musk's point is here?
I'm not sure. I think Elon's got his, finger on the pulse, and obviously Bored Ape is one of the great projects in the NFT space. I mean, I can take a picture in front of a Lamborghini outside. Doesn't mean that I own it. I could take a picture outside of a building in Manhattan and say I own it. Most people are bringing their internet brain to the blockchain, so they say silly things like that. The blockchain is a ledger that shows ownership. This is what always happens when there's big technology changes. So I'm empathetic to the point of view, but just by clicking or putting a picture doesn't mean you own it, just like in real life.
Right. Then again, you have to eventually separate the wheat from the chaff.
Well, that is the far more interesting point. As everybody who's watching this knows, in 97, 98, 99, 2000, Wall Street gave outrageous, obnoxious valuations of 14 billion, 34 billion for internet companies because they properly sensed that the internet was going to be one of the biggest technology shifts in our society, but the economics did not make sense against the companies at the time. And over the last 25 years, we've seen those different companies that did those things go on to do that. I think the same thing's happening with the NFT space. The consumer blockchain is going to be a profound change for everybody watching this right this minute. But to your point, and I've been saying it over and over, 97, 98, 99% of the projects today are going to be overvalued because they're not going to be able to keep up with the supply and demand curves. It's going to take time for NFTs to penetrate mass scale. And so that's what everyone who's deciding to invest in NFTs needs to think about. What's going to be the Amazon, eBay, and PayPal of this generation? Because the rest of them are going to be very, very, very ugly when when that time comes.
There you go. Gary V getting his shameless VeeFriends promotion in on the hat there. But saying
VeeFriends? I didn't hear anything about VeeFriends.
No. Just every time he turned his hat, there was the big VeeFriends logo on the side of it.
Okay.
What's that?
I said, well, that's okay. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, no. All right. So, yeah, I mean, Gary V saying some pretty typical Gary V stuff about NFTs. Any takeaways from what he said? Because I do think that he is right that people are still stuck with their, as he said, their internet brains and how things used to work and not how they're going to work. Obviously, people's reaction to Elon Musk is basically just like, see, Elon can steal it. Anyone can steal it. What are you thinking?
I don't know. He didn't say anything new here. It was same old stuff I always hear from Gary. Typical party lines. I don't have any opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. Sorry, I'm just trying to. I have to reshare the other screen before we get back into it, and then there we go.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, yeah, Elon, I guess trolling the Bored Apes, but ApeCoin moving a little bit, and then the Bored Apes bouncing back.
I mean, he does have $43 million to throw around, so it could have been him.
Like buying it from the Sotheby's lot.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, as you said, the owner or the winner of that bid is still anonymous. So I mean, it very well could be, but I don't even know if he would even care to say anything, to be honest with you, other than just trolling like that. So,
But that's the point. He's there to troll. This would be
what?
the ultimate troll. Everyone thinks he hates NFTs.
Right, and then he's just sitting there on a bag of 100 Bored Apes plus
Right.
a bunch of mutant serums and everything.
Yeah. It'll be the troll.
What was your takeaway on Elon talking about charging for Twitter too? He's saying commercial government users and whatnot should be starting to pay a free. He said ultimately the downfall of the Freemasons was giving away their stone cutting services for nothing.
Nice. Yeah, I support everything he does. I do.
All right.
I do. I will blindly support everything he does, and it's just the way it is.
Including the Cybertruck.
Yes, I want my truck. Give me my truck.
Akutar's project we talked a little bit about a couple last week. I guess they had the contract that ended up locking multiple millions of dollars in ETH stuck in there. The mint ended up going down. It went off without a hitch. It has revealed. I gotta say, I like them. I like them. I think they look pretty good. As Free Market pointed out, I do like the Boongies, and I did like the Mendels. So I'm seeing a trend here for sure. I didn't even think about it, but of the space and the astronaut suits, but they're sitting at a 1.55 floor, so nothing wrong with that. 15,000 of them, and they've been moving. They've been sitting somewhere in the top 10 on the charts, the volume charts for the last little bit, and they're doing well. Did you see the reveal go down? Do you have any opinions on what they look like? Are you a fan of them? Are you bullish on this project?
I'm not a fan of them, but they are what they are. They seem like they'll do okay, I guess. I know it was a big controversy with the contract and the money that got locked in it and all that fun stuff, but they look okay.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a lot of the hype behind it is obviously the media partnerships that they have lined up. But definitely some big sales going down for the rare ones, 40 ETH, 31 ETH, 30 ETH, 25 ETH, and they are moving right along. So I guess the contract issues did not really slow them down too much. And they are looking good now. So we'll yeah, I mean, I don't know how much there will be to follow them, but once the media stuff starts to kind of come to fruition and whatnot, I'm sure it'll make some more news with that. Phantom Network is dropping today. This is not probably, this is the most hype drop of the week. A lot of people have been talking about it. You know, it's in the realm of a utility tools. Looks like they're building almost like some of the sneak peeks that they've dropped almost looks like some form of Discord community where you'll have channels and whatnot that people are interacting with. We've seen that tried in the past with obviously with Metalink and whatnot. I don't know how deep down the rabbit hole they're going to actually compete with Discord, but I mean, at the core is the profile picture projects that they are dropping. The public Dutch auction is starting today, so that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. And this is a fair Dutch auction. For those of you that don't know, the fair Dutch auction is you can put in a bid at the start price of 2 ETH, and if it falls to 1.5 ETH and that's where it mints out, you are entitled to that 0.5 back or whatever the difference is there. So I guess in a sense it's sort of risk free. If you're willing to get your hands on one of these, you can send it right at the beginning and you have no worries about where this mints out at. It's going to be reduced by 0.05 every 15 minutes until a 0.1 ETH. I really do not anticipate it to come anywhere close to that. A lot of people saying that it will just mint out at 2 ETH, especially with the way that the fair Dutch auction works. And then this is where a lot of people have had some nits to pick about PXN here. The whitelist, allow list private sale will be 50% of the Dutch auction price, but capped at 0.35. So if it mints out at 2 ETH or if it mints out at 1 ETH, it will be no more than 0.35. And then, of course, if it falls lower than that, it will scale with it. I think people are a little bit frustrated at the disparity of that price between what they're asking for in the Dutch auction and what they're going to be charging in the allow list sale. Of course, 4,000 of them going for the Dutch auction, and then 6,000 going for the allow lists. And there's going to be one per transaction being minted. So, what are your feelings on PXN, and then of course the fair Dutch auction? I know in the shows this week you've been a big proponent of Dutch auctions, kind of criticizing the Bored Apes for not doing them with the other side drop. What's your take on a fair Dutch auction?
They solve one thing, but no system is perfect, and it will cause a situation where everybody feels safe sending it at 2 ETH. So this thing's going to sell out at 2 ETH. It has the hype, and everybody feels like it doesn't matter because they'll get any difference back. Because of that, there better be a ton of demand on the secondary, or everybody who full sent at 2 ETH, because that is what it will sell out at, is going to see a downside. So this is it's one of those things where if you weren't a very hype project, it kind of makes sense, because now you're still getting the most you could have. You're raising as much money as possible, but nobody is taking too much of a risk if they send it at a high price. With a very hype drop like this, it's basically just saying we're going to sell out at 2, and now we really better hope that there's demand on the secondary.
Yeah, I feel like the dynamic of the 0.35 coming in after the fact is where it's going to get a little touchy for the secondary. Do you think it's going to kind of create a standoff where like people, the volume on the secondary might be a little bit suppressed because people will know that in tomorrow in 24 hours that there will be the next wave of in the majority of the supply hitting the market, and that they won't have to pay very much to it, because somebody that mints at 0.35 is going to be fearless in undercutting a floor down to even like 1 ETH or less, right? Depending on how the next 24 hours of secondary goes after the Dutch auction.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I say everything is a demand. This is just like tokenomics. There's no like fancy launch formula you can have that's going to guarantee a cook or create value where there wasn't any. If the demand's there, the number's going to go up no matter what it sells at. If the demand isn't there, a fair Dutch auction could bite them in the ass, especially people who full send it to ETH.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching this pretty closely because I do think it's an interesting dynamic. We've seen some fair Dutch auctions happen in the past, but I don't think it was for a drop that was quite as hyped as this. Obviously, my gut, my heart of heart is telling me that it is going to do just fine. I would be surprised to see it fall below the Dutch auction mint out point, but again, it all depends on how real the hype is that they've created, and it does feel real because it's pretty much the only thing anyone's talking about this morning that I see in some of the communities that we're in. But it does look like they're putting together a pretty good project. The website they've just updated. Before it was like that really like green kind of old school browser type thing. It was pretty neat to click around, but they've definitely released a little bit more. So as I mentioned, kind of a Discord looking community, and they do say that access exclusive club rooms for onboarded NFT communities, use your own NFTs as avatars from our verified list of authentic projects. Unique ways to interact with the community in Web3. We obviously mentioned that Kaiju was just announced as one of their partner projects on the launch, which is very exciting. Kaiju is typically, putting their stamp of approval on good quality projects. And I actually think the art that they've shown here looks pretty good too. It's obviously in the anime realm, and we've seen a lot of that in the past, but the brushing looks a lot different. So at least they have their own unique style. to look at. Obviously, this isn't fully about the PFP, but it is a core part of it, and that is the first thing that they're dropping. They do have a little bit of a roadmap put out too. Most is redacted, but obviously we're on mission 1 deploying the 10,000 ghosts. Mission 2 is redacted. Mission 3 is the PXN token and rewards distribution will go online. Then there will be white boxes, and then the rest of it, of course, is redacted. So not a lot of information on that. But again, people seem to be very excited about it. And it is kind of fitting a couple of metas that are going on right now. We've talked about the anime meta, and I'm going to air quote that because I think that it is actually transcended a meta. But obviously playing really well. Azuki continuing to just absolutely crush it. I think I checked this morning and it was at about 30 ETH. And also falling into kind of the utility tools community kind of phase that we've been into, obviously with Premint, Moonbirds, Proof Collective. We saw the something token yesterday, which had a little bit of hype. It was about half an ETH yesterday, but it has fallen to about 0.2 this morning. Does it excite you? Like I know you said you're going for this. You're going to participate in the public Dutch auction, but are you excited for the prospects of the project or the product that they're releasing at all?
No, I am just excited about the hype. I would likely take a profit if there was one at the end. Otherwise, a trade will turn into an investment.
Fair enough. Yeah, Decoy saying fair Dutch auctions are such a scam. Yeah, I don't love the idea of it. I'm a firm believer that there does have to be some risk reward proposition. I think that I don't think that this project needs it, but I do think in other regards there is the fake FOMO kind of tactics on it, because it is encouraging to say that, oh, I can send it at this and it doesn't matter what happens because that's the price that I'm going to pay. And obviously if enough people have that mentality, it's just going to sell out at that point. And the price has been I guess maybe slightly inflated. I guess the dream scenario for most people minting is that 3,999 of them mint at 2 ETH, and then one falls to 0.5 ETH or something like that. But that's obviously not going to happen. So yeah, it'll be something to watch go down this evening for sure. All right, man. Well, I wanted to check in on the other side. What have you got going on today? You got your orc space? Are you doing the orc space today?
We got the orc community spaces today, and it is a very big day. It is a transition for the orcs as they move from a passive yield protocol to an actual video game. And it has been a rocky transition. The price of Zug has fallen from $2 to 60 cents now. The assets have fallen 60-70%, which was expected during this transition, as now they have to appeal to a larger player base and try to get new players in. And I have full faith they will do it. Love what they've put together. The new website looks great. Really, really looking forward to the launch later today and the spaces with the team.
Oh, the team's going to be on it today, or
they
are pretty much on it?
Really? We're going to have at least one team member on, I believe. May have more, because again, it is a big day.
And did you get in to actually play the beta yet? Did you try out the game?
I haven't. I've been too busy, but I will be playing live today.
Oh, I'll have to try and tune in for that. Always love what the EtherOrcs team has been putting out there. Looking at the Genesis ones, yeah, they've 1.25. What were they up to for a while there? Was it 4?
They got up to 4.5 at their peak, and
they're
back to 1.25.
There we go.
Yeah. And I see them falling to about an ETH here over the next year. Again, we're still in the transition period, and if you're shopping for them, people keep paper handing plus 15, plus 16s right on the floor for liquidity. So look out for those, because if you look now, all the ones on the floor are basic orcs that you'd either have to re-roll or are just at 12 Zug production, plus 12.
Per day, yeah.
Well, they make a base of 4, so plus 12, which is what you can roll to for a small amount of Zug, is your standard orc. That's your base kind of orc. There are orcs who have less, than that, as people haven't rolled them yet. So if you buy one that's less than plus 12, you're going to have to roll it to plus 12, which is going to cost a little zug. But yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
Basic
interesting.
floor orcs.
What's that?
They're basic floor orcs or florks.
Florks, as they're belovedly referred to. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what comes out of this. This is definitely one of the first like real, I don't want to say real games, but like a more of a playable kind of experience, and it's good to see them actually pull it off and transition into that, because I think they needed it, and I think that that's where the demand is definitely going to start going for the play and own games, right? Like more of an experience and less of a, as you call it, or not as you call it, as they are, a risk protocol.
Right. In the future, I think there'll be both. There will be games that people play for free or with little risk, and they will be built on top of infrastructures based on yield protocols and assets that you own. So it'll be this type of hybrid thing where anyone who wants to could just pick up and play. And maybe if they got lucky enough, they could find a loot box with an item. They could go sell on OpenSea and turn that into a rarer item, and eventually work their way up to a floor orc and then some allies, and you could see it happening that way. But there will be an outlet for people to play just to play.
And what are the projects that you need to hold to be able to get into this?
There's a list. I would have to go. It's a few. I don't recall the list. Tune in today for the Orcs Community Spaces for more info.
Yeah, there you go. Nice little segue there. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I guess we'll have some Ether Orc stuff to kind of break down on the show tomorrow morning too. And I'm excited for you to try it out and see what's what in the Orcs realm.
Orc.
Zug.
Zoog.
All right, guys. Anything else you want to touch on this morning? I said that we were going to keep it a little bit short. I do have some appointments to attend to this morning and this afternoon, so I do have to start getting ready for them. But
I saw Shamans last night. Supposedly there was something wrong with the mint. I mean, the art looked kind of cool, but same thing as 1/1s. The art looked kind of cool. It can maintain hype for a little bit, but there is a bear market in lower priced NFTs right now. That is hard to deny. Anything under an ETH does not do well. And everybody is rotating into higher EV blue chips, whether that be Azuki or Doodles. And I do think they're going to rotate into gaming and Gen Art next. So PFPs, they may need a rest here. And I really think what Gary was talking about on CNBC is part of the reason. We need that mass adoption. We need unique wallets to go up, which is going to take a little more time. And until that happens, we have an oversupply of PFPs. And sure, there'll be a special one that comes through every once in a while and does well out of nowhere. But I would expect most of the projects that already exist and any of the smaller ones who are launching to see pretty short-term hype cycles that maybe don't even last a day, and then people just forget about them. And I do, everything comes back 10 times stronger every cycle. We say this, and when you're in it, it doesn't feel like it's going to. But PFPs are just in a bad spot right now unless you are one of the elites, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, it looks like they had an issue with the minting process. They're issuing some refunds. They tagged some random Shama gang in their announcement too. This guy hasn't posted since 2013. Don't know what that was, but sorry for lack of communication recently. We were working on a solution to help all of you. As always, we care a lot about our community, and we're devastated by the FUD we got. We heard your feedback, so are taking serious actions on it. We'll be returning 0.35 ETH to all of those who minted at 0.5 to make the mint price of 0.15 based on floor price. We don't want anyone to lose money. We'll also be refunding all of those who bought from the collection. We took a snapshot of the wallets already. If you buy now, you won't be refunded. Whitelist mint is currently suspended. We will open it again. We will do a refund that is claimable for all whitelist members of 0.044 ETH per NFT. That makes the mint to 0.1. So at least they're obviously making things right by any of the community members that kind of got hurt by some of the mishaps that happened with this. Shamans is actually one that I kind of forgot about, to be honest with you, but interesting kind of artwork.
They look like
ones.
Hippie dippies. Fuck. What were they called? Happy hippies? No.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're like the same art style as those hippies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. Dippies, isn't it?
Dippies.
Yeah. You were close. You were right there. Yeah. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, a little more.
It's a
little more vibrant, but yeah,
the same artist, just with a different theme.
It's kind of like Dippies and One had a baby.
Dun-duns.
Dun-duns. That's exactly it. All right, man. Well, it's 10:15. Always a pleasure being up here with you. I think I already asked you this, but anything else you got on the docket you want to talk about?
No.
All good. Dead deaths. Says Cuggles. All right, guys. If you tuned in late, we just kind of ran through some news articles. The Citadel Ken Griffin doesn't like crypto. Bitcoin, S&P, or sorry, the crypto and S&P markets doing all right this morning, but obviously there's some big news with the rate changes coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern today. Elon changed his profile picture to a collage of bored apes. Maybe he was the anonymous buyer of the 101 lot that sold at Sotheby's in September of last year. Akatar's doing well after a lot of FUD and issues with the contract. PXN minting today, watching the 2 ETH Dutch auction, the fair Dutch auction, go down later tonight. So we'll have some recaps for you tomorrow to talk about. And then, of course, we talked about the EtherOrcs game is launching, and Free Market's going to be doing a spaces with them this afternoon with the team. So make sure you tune in if you're a fan of the EtherOrcs or learning more about it, because it will be very informative as always. Appreciate everyone tuning in today. We will do it again tomorrow morning. Free Market, get us out of here.
Good luck at the tables, D-Gens.